Hey everybody, my name is Clyde and today we're going to talk about clan battles. I'm recording this video on May 10th and yes, Clan Battles Season 21 is just 19 days away. Now I have played in every single season of clan battles ever since they were invented, and even spent a little time playing team battles that some of you old timers might remember. And let me tell you, this season's ship selection is one of the most intricate rule sets we have ever seen. Wargaming recently released an article on the dev blog which explained the rationale behind the ship selection rules in this season, and I'm going to include a link to that dev blog article in the description of this video. It seems like this season they're really committed to generating a unique experience for us. They've gone all in on what I call game making. That is, basically trying to give this season a unique identity and to bring some freshness to one of our favorite game modes in World of Warships. I am very excited about this season, however I do think that the complexity of the lineup rules creates a few issues for some clans to try to iron out. To help, I've tried to create a tool that I'm going to share with you, which will hopefully make your clan battles planning a little bit easier this season. You might be asking yourself, who are these rules even good for? Well, I think some of the rules this season are good for everybody. Limiting the number of Benhams and Lennons is honestly fantastic. Some may say those ships should be banned, but they should at least be limited because these two ships are so powerful, we've asked them to leave the party. This is actually a really good thing because there are likely going to be some clans that don't have access to either of those ships. And when we look at the whole set of restrictions, I think they tend to be good for clans that are well equipped. They've got players who are looking for a fresh take on clan battles, and they can basically pick and choose any legal permutation of the ships that are available this season. I also think that these well-equipped clans who choose to field a fairly set roster and don't deviate very quickly or ever, are going to be able to zero in on more meta builds that will suit their players very well. I think that clans that have less available ship diversity are going to feel negatively restricted by these rules. That said, I think having two tiers of ships to choose from enables tons of options, and I think you could build some really great teams even if you only chose ships from the unrestricted ship lists. In particular, I do think that some of those clans that institute a rotation during clan battle nights are going to run into some, minor issues maybe, particularly if some of those players are not flush with ships. I know that in my clan's Discord, when we first began talking about this season, literally everybody rolled in there and said, I guess this season I'll be playing this tier 9 ship. With the rules, of course, that is impossible. You're only allowed to field 2 tier 9s, and that means that 2/3 of us are going to be playing tier 8s, but we were all talking about playing tier 9s. In previous seasons, players knew what tier and role they'd be filling, and they could generally choose a ship that suited what the clan needed with limited restrictions. This season, each individual player's choice has repercussions that frequently affect the ships that other players can select. There are rules that restrict every single class in the game, and that means it's not just a problem for battleship players or destroyer players or whatever. Plus, if your team is planning on fielding a hybrid like this little guy, that battleship selection affects cruiser and destroyer selections that your team can or maybe now can't make. Now, before you roll your eyes and go into the comments to tell me that I'm too stupid to understand the rules, I'd like to point out that no, I do understand how the rules work, and they are far from intractable, but they're not exactly dirt simple. They're not easy for clans that are going to be changing their lineups throughout the night. And I know that for me, that is going to be something we face in Season 21. To help me visualize these rules in action, I created a little tool to help me in planning my clan's Season 21 lineups. And now I'd like to share it with you. First things first, do not ask me for edit permissions on this spreadsheet. I'm not going to give them to you. Instead, what you want to do is go up and click on File at the top left and select Make a Copy. This will give you your own copy of the spreadsheet and you'll have full edit permissions and you can share it with your clanmates. Besides, you don't want to edit the master copy anyway because it's public facing and you'd be giving us all of your clan secrets. Plus, when you have your own copy, like I said, you can share it with your clanmates and you guys can all jump in Discord and edit it simultaneously and come up with a lineup as a group, which we tried and it was actually pretty fun. Here's how it works. Basically, you'll add the names of your players to the player names list at the top of the sheet. Each row down below represents a player, and each column represents a group of ships that have restrictions this season. Now, the red columns on the far right are the groups of unrestricted ships, so technically those columns are not restricted. As you make your selections in the drop-down boxes down below, the spreadsheet will automatically add the name of the ship next to the player's name in the green boxes at the top of the sheet. If you create an illegal lineup, then the green column or row header cells will turn red and tell you that you messed it up. This can happen if, for example, you assign more than one ship to a single player, or if you assign more than the number of allowed ships in a limited group. Remember, hybrid battleships are considered to be members of groups B, C, D, and E. That's Bravo, Delta, Charlie, and Echo. And that means that they count towards the number of ships in those groups as well. I've also included the graphic that Wargaming provided on the dev blog so that you know what ships are in each group. So that way you can kind of like shop on the graphic for what you want and then go apply it using the drop downs. Makes it a little bit faster. Also, if you assign more than 2 tier 9s, the value in the tier 9s fielded box will turn red. So you should watch out for that. And that's basically it. Oh, a couple more things. Number one, don't type in any of the green boxes. Those are all automatically populated by your selections in the spreadsheet. And if you type over them, you'll break something, which then you could just go get a new copy, but try not to break it. That'd be best for you. And then the ships in the unrestricted ship drop-down lists, the red columns, those lists are pretty long. So if you click on there and start typing, it'll auto-filter the list down to the ship that you're searching for, which should make things go a little bit faster if you're grabbing anything out of those lists. The link to the spreadsheet is in this video's description, so go create a copy and start building some lineups. If you find a bug or you want to ask a question or just talk about the spreadsheet or even share your lineups, please join the Clyde Plays Discord. I've created a channel there called CB Lineup Builder or Clan Battles Lineup Builder so that we can talk about this tool and this upcoming season. So that's basically it. Please let me know in the comments if you think this kind of tool is useful, because I want to make sure I'm spending my energy on stuff that is useful for you guys. What do you guys think of this upcoming season? What do you think of the restrictions? Does it excite you or does it fill you with dread? I would definitely love to know what you guys think about Clan Battle Season 21 now that it's been announced. Also, huge thank you to Skada and Bowmaster and Not Odysseus for helping me test this spreadsheet. They made a bunch of suggestions that made this sheet better, and they also found a few bugs, so big thank you to those guys. Until I see you guys next time in our next battle, our next produced YouTube video, until we see you on the Discord or wherever else, please take care, be cool, be nice, and we will see you out there. Take care.